the ideal fit for it. Can you imagine how dangerous he'll be with a very veteran championship lineup? I think he'd be a great fit there. The Boston Red Sox situation, you brought some interesting points. Okay, that we haven't addressed tonight, but I'm glad you did bring it up. Dave Dombrowski was the hired core to begin with. Okay, Dave was gone anyways.
Wrecking ball.
Right. Well, but now all of a sudden you have a Boston Red Sox situation where you're taking core out of the equation, and they're obviously trying to shed payroll is what they are, and they've gutted the farm system to win now. So now you have to look at the sum of the whole and the whole of the sum. And now you wonder what manager would be an ideal fit with all the toxic nature of a farm system gutted and overpriced payroll and now a scandal-ridden situation with a general manager and president that isn't there anymore. That's where the ironic nature of it. Do the Red Sox blow it up, or do they have 80 wins, 85 wins this year? That, to me, is going to be a very interesting situation. The Mets situation, I think, is very easy because if anybody wanted to second-guess the Beltran hiring because he never had any managerial experience, that was an easy way to get out of that situation with a man that's 0-0 and to have second thoughts with probable cause to do it. Do you know what I mean? So
that you brought up great points about the Mets, and like I said with the Red Sox, they gutted their farm system. Keep in mind too, they couldn't even afford to pay Mookie Betts and Jackie Bradley Jr. what they wanted. They had to go to attribution, and for 1 year, and that's all they can afford right now. So the new general manager right now, who was with the Tampa Bay Rays, did an amazing job with. Now he has to do what he did with the Rays, with the Red Sox, with a bigger salary. So
yeah, but what's interesting about that is when we talk about the Rays and the Red Sox, this guy made a lot out of nothing in Tampa. He'll still be given more money to go ahead and spend. The question is, how do you jockey and allocate the funds about who you ultimately have to do? I think there's trades on the table where down the road, nobody better than it than you anyways, is I think David Price could be had for the right time if you eat salary, but we're not going to turn that into that type of thing. But I think the Red Sox situation has a lot more, is more complicated than the other ones. You have, Bob Crane will get this hire right. I've been a firm believer that the ideal candidate, and I'll still stand behind what I'm saying, Terry Collins, if you could bring him back to New York, he could steady that ship for at least a year or two, and he has credibility within the organization, and he left probably because of Sandy Alderson. Now, I don't know how stable the general manager or the former agent who's blowing up at Mickey Callaway and screaming at everybody on the planet who'd want to put up with this guy's garbage anyways. I don't think anybody with any experience would tolerate the kid anyhow. So you have to wonder about the toxic nature between young versus old, and knowing that the Mets are in a very precarious situation and a public relations one, I might add as well. So I know that as this situation unfolds, Jake, that we're going to talk about it. You're going to be invited, just so you know, as of now, on the our baseball show, 108 Stitches Baseball Talk, where you'll be able to zone in on that as well. So I want to let everybody know that Jake Rongholt is definitely a big part of what we do, and he'll be all over the South Florida Tribune Broadcasting Network. Just wanted to run that stuff by you. Anything that you want to promote, your handle and your broadcast, go ahead. You got about 2 minutes to do it.
Yeah, so right now I just got done doing a interview with Zachary Jacobson of Packer Report to break down the Packers and the 49ers matchup. We're also going to do a right and wrong segment coming up tomorrow, and also a cinematic escape. We're going to do a best and worst movie list that you have not heard ever before, because honestly, with all the time I put in with podcasting and working for the South Florida Tribune and looking for a job and, building a relationship with my girlfriend right now, I don't have much time to sit around and watch bad movies, but I did see a couple of bad movies that really got underneath my skin. I saw a couple of disappointing movies, and I saw a trailer that was so god-awful, and I knew it was going to be bad, but I want to be able to break that down. So that will be coming up on the Cinematic Escape aspect of the Turning Points podcast, and we'll be debuting that either tomorrow or Saturday. If you got any questions, comments, or concerns, please go to @WrongHoldSports. or you can find me on Facebook.com/both sides of the story, because that's what I do. I tell always both sides of the story.
So go ahead and tell them your Twitter handle again.
At Rongholt Sports, that's RONGHOLT Sports.
All right, well, Jake, job well done, and obviously you're going to be all over the South Florida Tribune Broadcasting Network platform. I will put a shout-out to Dan Patrick, who's going to be in the National Sports Media Association Hall of Fame. I'll be there in June, so but we'll have plenty of time to talk about Dan then. But meanwhile, Jake, thanks for being on the program tonight. You did a fantastic job, and we'll be in touch the next day or so we can continue to build the brand in more ways than one. So on behalf of Jake Rongholt,
I'm Louis Adia-Weiss.
This is Scott Morganroth saying good evening, everybody. Have a great weekend, and we'll see you next week. Have a good night.